All right, good evening. Welcome along. It is another Thursday night live on SAFC Fan TV. Tonight, joining myself, we have Michael Bowers. We've got Jacob Kirkbride. We've got Dino. We have Sean Middleton. And our special guest this evening, we got Lauren. Come on, big cheer for Lauren. Hey!
Evening, Lauren.
Lauren, making us all look really ugly. So, we've got the live chat as well. If you want to join us on the live chat, of course, there is no game at the weekend, so we won't be discussing that. But we are going to be we're going to try and come up with the SAFC Fan TV Best 11. So that's going to cause some arguments. But before we start, we did play a game on Tuesday, Carlisle, in the whatever cup it's called now, or trophy it's called now, and we won 5-3. So I'm sure Dino, you'll have a lot to say about that. Dino, do you want to kick us off?
It's obviously a game we're expected to win. This is against a team who's in Michael, what league are Carlisle in?
League Two.
League Two. They're a League Two team. I don't think they've got many high expectations. To be honest, we made hard work of it. To be honest, if we were 4-1 up and then we came back to 4-3, Remy Matthews in goal. I mean, I haven't seen what their goals were like, but I've said from the start I don't really fancy Remy Matthews as a first team keeper. I don't really rate him. It was nice to see Jack Diamond on the score sheet. Charlie White with a tap in. I'm surprised he actually scored it, but as long as we're only going to use him in them kind of games, I don't think he's not for the league. He's more for the cups. The only problem I've got, we conceded against a lower ranked team. Is it because he changed the formation to a 4-4-2? Because I'm sure he did change the formation. Correct us if I'm wrong. But it's good to see we're getting goals. Maguire, I think he got 2. Hume, nice, lovely. Jack Diamond, and am I missing anyone else?
And
Who?
And White.
And White, yeah, and Charlie White.
No wonder you
But,
didn't.
to be honest, I think this is a cup we should win. If we're going to score loads of goals against these teams, why not go and win it? Why not? But yeah, I'm happy with the win. Shame we conceded some goals, but it's a win regardless.
Another trip to Wembley, I suppose.
I wouldn't mind one.
Just very quickly, on the chat coming through already, Thane, friend of ours, says, where's Terry? Is he having his 9,000 subscribers, can't even say it, celebration party? The mad mistake, first of all, massive congratulations from all of us on the channel for hitting 9,000 subscribers on his personal channel. Well done, well deserved. And of course, if you still haven't subscribed to the Mad Mistake, please do so. He's well worth a watch and a great guy as well. He's not here tonight because he's going to be moving house, so he's getting all ready to do that before he moves house. David Davis on the live chat says Lauren Special K, apparently. So right then. So Lauren, did you watch the match on Tuesday?
Watched second half, not the first half.
What did you think?
I think against League Two, really, I don't know, you need to be more organised at the back. And that goalkeeper, I've got no faith in him whatsoever.
Well, fortunately, he's going to be understudy, isn't he, to Burge?
Yeah.
We talk a lot on this channel about our strikers. Have you got a preferred striker, a preferred two?
Don't get us started on Charlie White. Please don't. Greer and Graham, I'd give them a chance together.
Yeah, whoever he picks, we've said he needs to give them a run out, really. But yeah,
I'm sure he's got like an obsession with Charlie White. He does nothing all game and he starts again.
Well, who knows? Who knows what's going on between Phil Parkinson and Charlie White? We just don't know. Michael, Tuesday night?
You had to put a mentally disturbing image in your head about Phil Parkinson and Charlie Wyke.
No, that was just in your head. I didn't put it in your head.
No, you just said you don't know what gets on between Parkinson and Wyke. Flies naughtiness there. I'm gonna quote the good old me and Sean know this guy, Steve Cass, and I promised him I would say this, so now's the opportunity. Charlie Wyke, get on your bike. Get away from the stadium of light as far as possible. I didn't see that. I was at work. I'm going to do a Phil. I was a grafter on Tuesday night. So as far as the game is concerned, yeah, you can see 3 goals to a League Two side. It doesn't particularly look great. Remy Matthews was at fault for 2 of them. The penalty, don't know what on earth he was doing for it. And I'm pretty sure that the second goal, was pretty much Remy Matthews just deciding to parry the ball into his own net. I mean, Christ, we've already had Jason Steele in league camp. I don't think I want to have relive any of that. I don't want to slate the guy because he has only played a couple of games, but yeah, let's hope Burge doesn't get injured. Wyke scored, like Dino said, it's pretty much on the line for him. It was because of a keeper mistake he scored it. Jack Diamond scored a good goal, but does it matter as much because Phil Parkinson still probably will be stubborn and won't try to use him in the league games, which I think is criminal. But it's a win, and we're already through to the knockout rounds of this competition anyway. So for me, I would just keep it as a fringe team all competition because I do not want to risk any first team really important players getting injured. So the likes of Bailey Wright, of Jordan Willis, whoever else, and stay well clear of the team in this competition for me.
Right, quickly back to the chat. Dan Humphrey says, what a lineup tonight. Oh, I agree as well. Chris Scott says, up by Easter, how are the lads? Wembley booked. Phil Parkinson, football genius. There you go. I don't think the Mad Mistake would agree with that. Jacob, Tuesday night?
I only watched the highlights because I was out on Tuesday, but overall the game, there was some sloppy moments, particularly with our defending and also Remy Matthews. I think there was one goal where he ended up fumbling on it and it went into the bottom corner. That's a cause of concern, particularly with that being our number 2 goalkeeper right now. But I think we just have to use this competition to try out different formations, try out players that we wouldn't normally play in the league and see what they can do really and whether they could potentially have a decent performance and then take that into a League One game. That's what Bowers was touching on there. But yeah, the performance was pretty mixed, a few sloppy moments. You have to remember, though, they are playing in a league below us, Carlisle. So I think you can only beat what's in front of you. We were expected to get the job done, 5 goals, but then again, we did let in 3. So that's a cause of concern. But at the same time, the players have got a weekend off this week, have a chance to focus on the things they haven't done right and then build on the mixed start to, I would say, successful start to the season they've had so far. So yeah, definitely we'll use this competition to try out new players, get the fitness up, but it's always nice feeling that we've got through to the next round. And Jack Diamond, very good performance from him as well.
Right, back to the chat then. Are we getting an echo there?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Really bad. It's your end up.
What, is it me?
It was. It's gone now.
It's gone now.
It's gone now. It was you.
Well, I do apologise. It was my stomach. Right, it says down here, Robert Foster on the chat says, we eased off when we're 4-1 up. We got to learn to keep going, possibly. Kev Muse, give a shout out to Lewis Watson. He's sitting here with me. Bless him. There you go. Bless him. Sean, Tuesday night.
I didn't actually see the first half. I seen the team news. Obviously, I seen the team news, but I missed the first half. I was a bit busy. But thankfully, me and Michael's friend Paul Wilson, bless him, he sent us the 2 goals. Class lad Paul, he sent us the goals. So I seen the goals back. Obviously, the free kick was a deflection, wasn't it, from Maguire? I didn't see their goal, but I think Hume scored as well, didn't it? Did Hume get the equaliser, I think? And obviously, the second half, we've got the goals in the second half again.
Wyke got the third. Yeah,
Diamond scored. Green pulled it back. Well, I think I was reading off people's comments. I think that Diamond must have. He's given a chance, and he looks like he's played really well. I was a bit unsure about the system. I'm trying to figure it out, but I do actually think it was the same system. But I thought that Partons had played Luke O'Neill in the back three. Now the back three, like we normally play.
Yeah, he did.
No, he played Jack Diamond at right wing back and obviously Hume left wing back. But I mean, there was some good goals. I mean, they scored a class goal, but I mean, and that's only the Leeson Cup and this, that, and the other one. You want to play youngsters. I think Daniel's done himself justice. Dam's done himself justice. Brandon Taylor, I'm not too sure, but to score 5 goals is good. Conceding 3 is not so good. As Dino said earlier on, it's a competition we should be maybe looking to win. But for me, it's all about just giving the youngsters a try, see if they can break into the first team. And I think Diamond has definitely done that. I mean, I don't know how much about Dan Neil, but 5-3, good win. And it just obviously keeps us ticking over until the Swindon game, isn't it? But, you know, it was entertaining game, but a bit... I'm always relaxed in them games, the Leeson Cup, because, you know, for me, it's about getting promoted this season. So I wasn't really feeling the pressure of it. But for a neutral, it was a cracking game. But, you know, we won the game 5-3. Just, you know, there's a few things we need to sort out. But
move on, basically. Yeah.
Right. Okay, then. On the chat, Dan Trend Videos says Neil Diamond has got to get a chance in the league. Also, Chris Scott down here says, wee Philly in his 60s is more mobile than Charlie Wyke. You cheeky. I'm only 32.
I was going to finish that sentence.
Oh,
I'm only 32, man. How are you? Give us a break. Right, what we're going to do then, we're going to, because we haven't got a game this weekend, so we can't sort of preview that. So what we're doing is we're going to try and come up with our best Sunderland 11 in our, because I mean, I've been grafting each and every day, delivering me parcels, whilst you lot are just sat doing nothing.
very nice.
So what we thought we'd do, we'd come up with the our best 11, and see if we can get a team together. The SAFC Fan TV best 11. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through each position, and we're going to try and find a position for that. As we do these, if you want to join in on the chat and you want to chuck names into the hat, we'll certainly chuck them in as well and see if we can decide for each position, and we'll get 1 to 11 filled. We're going in a 4-4-2 formation because, well, Conrad put it out for us on the on our social media, and we did a vote on it, and you decided a 4-4-2 is the way to go. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start, of course, number 1 with the goalkeeper. So your all-time favourite goalkeeper, who you would have in our team. Michael, do you want to kick us off?
Okay. Obviously, I've picked a goalkeeper from the lovely relegation David Moyes season, so I don't need to say who it is. It's Jordan Pickford. Now, obviously, since leaving Sunderland, he's quite recently he's had a habit of making a couple of howlers. But in the season under Moyes, where I felt most of the squad was sackless and didn't put any effort in, Pickford was one of the few that did. Without him, we would have got relegated probably about 10 weeks sooner the way we were going. Made some cracking saves to keep us in games. And probably the wins we did get that season, he was largely the reason why. He was a good portion of the reason why we got them. So it was a debate between him and the likes of Simon Mignolet, for example, because I've only been, and just disclaimer before anyone watches, I've only started supporting and watching football since about the start of 2011. Hence why my team is going to be way different to a lot of other players in this video. So yeah, Jordan Pickford, that's my goalkeeper.
And by the sound of the people on the chat, my team's going to involve people playing on black and white tellies with really long shorts, apparently. So, right then, Lauren, have you got a favourite goalkeeper?
Yeah, Jimmy Montgomery.
Is that who you're going for?
Yeah.
Right. On the chat, we got people throwing goalkeepers in at the moment. Sorensen, Montgomery, Mignolet is coming in. Shea Given.
I forgot about him.
Well, well, So you got Jimmy Monty as well there, Lauren.
Yeah.
Jacob, who have you gone for?
I've gone for the hero of the penalty shootout, Old Trafford, in the League Cup semi-final 2014, Vito Mannone. Real fans' favourite. Played a massive part in that run to the final that year. And just a brilliant shot stopper. I remember when he came on for his Premier League debut for Sunderland away at Hull City, we were down to 9 men. And even in that game, he was absolutely fantastic. Just took him a while to settle in, but I think when he just... particularly when Big Sam came in as manager, he brought him back into the team after having Pantilimon in for a while, and just a fantastic shot stopper overall. Not quite commanding in his penalty area compared to other goalkeepers we've had, but like his reflexes were just second to none at times. I know it ended on an injury note at Sunderland, but still a fantastic goalkeeper. So he's my number one in between the sticks.
All right, fair dues. So Vito Mannone coming in on the chat again. We got Danny Connor Reid says Mannone. Richard Wiles says Siddall. Barry Siddall. Michael Fish says Chris Turner down there. So there's a few coming in there. Dino, your favourite goalkeeper in our best 11?
You know what? There's 2 of them. Obviously, Tommy Sorensen's got to go in there for me. But there's a one what no one's actually mentioned yet. Craig Gordon. I mean, I was miserable Gordon. Like, he never smiled, but on his day, he was a really good keeper forward. I think he was one of the club's highest paid for a goalkeeper, 9 mil or something.
9 mil, yeah.
And to be honest, I thought he delivered. I thought he was really. I mean, he made one of the saves of
Bolton.
Yeah, where he went across the line and he tipped it. I really like Tommy Sorensen, obviously just for old time's sake. I mean, he was with her for years. He was a good, really good keeper. But I'm going to chuck Craig Gordon in there. I just think he goes a bit under the radar, and I think he was a good keeper for us. So I'm going to say Craig Gordon.
Injuries letting
All right, so you're going Craig Gordon for yours. More people here saying Tony Norman and Barry Siddall, but Monty was the best. That is David Algar. Of course, Barry Siddall, I mean, a lot, well, probably just me and Sean maybe remember Barry Siddall. But I mean, there was a tale of, I mean, my mum, bless her, they used to sing, the chant was always, Siddall, Siddall, Siddall. And I remember my mum saying, who's this Sid Hall then who plays for Sunderland? But that was many years ago, again, when everything was black and white tellies and long shorts and all that. So, Sean, goalkeeper.
Well, we've had some good goalkeepers over the years. I mean, as Jacob just mentioned, Vito Mannone was good. Pantilimon, Craig Gordon. I think that's a good shout by Dino. I think he was underrated. Really good goalkeeper. But for me, was the guy who signed for us in 1998 by Peter Reid. He signed for 510,000. He had 6 years on Wearside, and I was reading a stat earlier on as well. In that campaign, when we won the league that year, he kept a record-breaking 29 clean sheets in the championship.
Wow.
And that is absolutely phenomenal. But for me, when he became a massive hero was that night when we beat Newcastle at St James's Park.
Look at what I'm going to say here.
He had Mary Poppins' penalty in the, I think it was minutes. And that was just, he was already a legend, but doing that to saving his penalty.
So Jason Steele, is that how you're saying? Jason Steele.
He was also recommended by Peter Schmeichel that he was going to be a really good goalkeeper. So Thomas Sorensen is my goalkeeper.
Thank goodness for that. We've got 11 places to fill here. I thought he was going to take all 9, get in a goalie. Tommy Sorensen. All right, then, for me, it's a difficult one because, I mean, I'm really old and I've seen loads of keepers. Jimmy Monty's up there and thereabouts. Jordan Pickford, Simon Mignolet, Thomas Sorensen, all these for me. But somebody we've not mentioned yet. All right, it's coming through on the chat as well, though. Chris Turner, for me. I remember being at White Hart Lane back in the 80s. It was a night game. It was a cup game, I'm sure. And he was absolutely outstanding. And I thought Chris Turner was a brilliant goalie for us. So for me, I put Chris Turner as my number one, which caused a little bit of a dilemma for us now because we've all picked different goalies. So we've had Jimmy Monty, Chris Turner, Jordan Pickford, Tommy Sorensen, Vito Manoni, and Craig Gordon is what we've had, I think, between us. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's the 6. So we've got to come up with a goalie who's going to go in our SAFC Fan TV Best 11. I'm open to offers.
I couldn't argue. Any of the goalkeepers have said that.
Yeah.
They're all good goalkeepers. Like,
Right, so what we'll do then.
Go to a vote, wouldn't it?
Not really. We'll just. I was going to roll a dice, but I'm going to.
I'll tell you what. I'm willing to go with Sorensen just because he saved a penalty against Newcastle from Alan Shearer.
Anyway, I love Max Power.
Oh,
right.
best midfielder.
This might be a daft question, but is Jimmy Montgomery the keeper who won the FA Cup?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm picking Jimmy Montgomery just for that then.
Right. The thing is it's. I mean, I've gone on people I've seen play myself. You know, what I mean, I've not. So that's how I'm judging it. And I saw Monty play. And he was great. But we've had a lot of good goalkeepers now. Do we give it to Monty because we won the cup, or? I mean, to
be honest, I agree with what you. I mean, Montgomery, he made that save against Leeds United as well. I don't know how he saved it, and that probably won us the FA Cup. So I'm willing to see Montgomery
make that 2 votes. Yeah, 3.
Yeah, Montgomery.
Right. Okay. Right. So our goalkeeper then is Jimmy Monty. I've got to find a dice to roll a dice or something between the 6 of us, and then we can. Right. Okay. Then. Right. Let's go for let's go across the back 4 then. We need 4 defenders. Start with the right back. We're going with the right back first. Michael?
Phil Bardsley. I think he was an ever dependable, solid right back, and I think, well, obviously, I've not exactly seen. I've seen the magical right backs of Billy Jones, Donald Love, and Javier Manquillo. So, yeah, nightmares. But Phil Bardsley, I don't think there's any question. He scored the goal. In particular, he's good defensively, but he scored the goal at Old Trafford in that semi-final in the League Cup. And that was probably the most mental I've ever gone for celebrating the Sunderland goal. Again, since I've started following football. Only for us to do a Sunderland and then concede like 30 seconds later and having got penalties. But, Phil Bardsley, just very dependable right back. Got the odd goal here and there, very good defensively. And probably one of the bigger mistakes Sunderland had in the last few years was actually letting him go for free. Should have kept him. Phil Bardsley.
Right, Phil Bardsley, good shout. Jacob.
Mine's exactly the same as Michael Bowers. Phil Bardsley for me. Yeah, Bardo, just an absolute legend. Just loved the club through thick and thin. He's definitely. How would I describe Phil Bardsley best? Is, say if you're a player in the Sunderland team and you're getting started on by a few opposition players in the tunnel, you want Bardo by your side. He'll just stick up for you straight away. He liked to argue with referees a lot, but he just cared about the club so much. He just had so much like pride and passion. Like even. He had a few like screamers of goals that I remember. This one finish he scored at home against Man City, who beat them 1-0. He took it like a striker, but there was just one goal. Another one, he scored a free kick against West Brom. We got beat in the game, but I've never seen a shot hit so hard into the top corner. Just the fantastic right back, solid, could attack and defend, put great crosses in, and just and a fantastic representative of our football club. I love Bardo to pieces. That night at Old Trafford still takes me back to that night. Brilliant evening. Phil Bardsley for me.
Right, okay then. So 2 for Phil Bardsley already then. Lauren, right back.
Phil Bardsley.
Phil Bardsley
again.
Clear winner.
You're all far too young
Best
because
choice.
you're all far too young because we've had some cracking right backs. But one's coming in at the moment on the chat. Saying people are giving a shout out here to Chris Makin coming in. There's more Phil Bardsley coming in. John Kay is there as well. More Phil Bardsley. Billy Jones. Right.
Billy Jones.
Right then. Dino, right back.
I've got to agree with Lauren in that. I think Phil Bardsley, I think on his day, he was solid. I mean, hadn't been off, Phil Bardsley had him in his back pocket in one of the derbies. He knocked out Wayne Rooney in the boxing match, and what went viral. I mean,
Was that when he done that celebration?
I forgot to
that's
mention
when he done the celebration there, because Bardsley knocked him out when they were having a little play fight in the boxing. But I mean, Phil Bardsley on his day was quality, and he still plays in the Premier League to this day. I mean,
how good he is.
We got him from Man United as an unproven right back, and he became a solid right back for us. He scored important goals. Like I say, he kept Ben Arthur in his back pocket when Ben Arthur was supposed to be the next big thing. He was
agent now.
He was solid. He was solid all round, and I do agree. I think letting him go was one of Sunderland's biggest mistakes because we've never really replaced him. So for me, I'm going to go Phil Bardsley.
Right,
too.
Phil Bardsley again. Then that's just four. That's just four of you for Phil Bardsley. Sean, help me out here.
Yeah, well, the guy I'm picking, it was a choice between Chris Meakin and the guy I'm picking, but I went for this guy. He joined us in 2008 for 850,000, potentially rising to 2 million. It was Roy Keane who signed him. I thought it was Steve Brooks actually, but great right back, had a cracking right foot. He could strike the ball. They reckon he was hard as nails as well actually. I liked him a lot. And my choice is Phil Bardsley. I think he was great right back, and I think he left the club far too early. I agree with Michael early when I think it was Di Canio what was the problem there. I think he loved the club as well. He would have stayed longer if he could. But obviously Di Canio he just come in and he rattled a few feathers. So Phil Bardsley's 100% my choice.
Right, well, on the chat thing says Phil Bardsley was very good at getting drunk in casinos.
I remember that.
On the pitch.
Money on his face.
Casual Observer says Gareth Hall. Now,
Gareth Hall.
Now, the thing is, we have talked about doing a worst Sunderland 11. And I've got to say,
Jones. Javier Macio.
Listen, Gareth Hall would probably make
Connor McLaughlin.
Everyone who people are saying people are saying Dick Malone, who was in our cup winning team in '73. For me, a right back, it was a choice between three really. I did have Phil Bardsley down, good. Chris Meakin had down, but my choice is definitely going to be John Kay. Now, I'm assuming that you might not have seen him play, but you're saying how hard Phil Bardsley was. Right. Well, I think you'll go a long way to find a harder man than John Kay. And I'm sure everybody, you must have heard the story of the time when he broke his leg and he was getting carried off on the stretcher, and he sat up and he actually rowed the boat right on his stretcher with a broken leg, and that was at Roker Park coming off there. So for me, definitely without a doubt, it would be John Kay. But in our team, I'm voted 5-1. So Phil Bardsley goes as our right back in the SAFC Fan TV Best 11. Phil Bardsley.
These are the arguments. The centre defenders.
And he goes. Right then. What about a left back then? We need a left back. I think we'll go the other way around this time. We'll start with Sean. Sean, left back.
Left back was a choice between. Well, we've had some good left backs. I mean, Danny Rose was great. Patrick Van Aanholt was great. Marcus Alonso was good. But I went with this guy because he spent 12 years on Wearside. He's a local lad. He was obviously in the team. We finished 7th twice, which is our highest finishes in the Premier League. He actually played for England. I think he got a couple of caps. I think.
3, I think it was.
On his day, Michael Greer was as good as you get in the left back. He get forward, he could defend, and he could whip a good crossing. So my choice for the left back is Michael Greer.
Right, Mickey Greer then. Your choice for left back. Dino?
Ray, Sean said it bang on the head. Mickey Greer all day long. He still loves the club to this day. He was a train when he used to come up from left back, when he used to go around the winger. You couldn't catch him. He had a rocket of a shot on him. Obviously, he missed the penalty in the cup final against Charlton. What doing with on about division, but he came back even stronger. It just showed the character of the man. It didn't let it get him down. He came back stronger, improved, and he was just a quality left back for Sunderland throughout his years. And he is a club legend. So for me, definitely Mickey Gray.
Right, Mickey Gray again. Then that's another shout for that. Different ones coming in on chat. Thane says Danny Rose. Ian Wilson saying Joe Bolton. John O84 says Mickey Gray. Kev Muse, Julio Arca. Marcus Alonso's in there. Oviedo's in there as well. That's all.
Was it all that defender?
Left back.
I thought he was a midfielder.
I thought he was a midfielder.
He played left wing as well. I think he played left wing as well, but he definitely played left back.
Well, I've got him down as a left back. But they were like wing backs anyway, weren't they? Anyway, Lauren, left back.
Mickey Gray. When I started getting to football, he was at left back. I was only about 4 or 5. I remember one of the first ever games I went to. It was an evening match, and I do remember him playing.
Yep.
So yeah, him definitely.
And you had
I was going to pick Danny Rose as well, Marcus Alonso, but I think him. He just scrapes it.
They're all good. They're all good shouts there, Lauren. Definitely, without a doubt. Jacob.
Right, my left back. It's not his natural position, but he has played there, particularly under Steve Bruce in that season when we finished top 10. I just had to get him in my team. I've gone for Kieran Richardson. Very good every time, every game. I've seen him play at left back. Great engine on the left. Had a fantastic left foot. Could put in a decent set piece. Was never afraid to have a shot at goal. Just like an overall engine to have on that left hand side. Could attack and defend very well. And who can forget that brilliant goal against the Mags? I've never seen the shot fly into the top corner as quick as that at the Stadium of Light in my life. So, yeah, he was a real fan's favourite. Kieran Richardson, one of my favourites as well. I had a big poster of him on my wall back in the day. Absolutely loved him to pieces. So, Kieran Richardson, my left back.
Right, different shouts coming in on the chat here for Ruben Agbula. George McCartney's a fairly good shout there. Up to you, Michael.
When we talked about mistakes that Sunderland have made over the years, Ellis Short not giving Gus Poyet the money to get Marcus Alonso on a permanent deal, I will never understand, considering the deal was about 3 or 4 million or whatever it was. Marcus Alonso, for me, obviously, I've had much less good options to choose from, but my main two were Marcus Alonso and Danny Rose, and it was a toss-up between the two of them, because I thought both of them were really good. Danny Rose was good at getting up and down defensively, but I think Marcus Alonso was just that step. I think what decided it, and I know I'll probably contradict myself here, Marcus Alonso has done better for himself since leaving Sunderland. I know Danny Rose got into Tottenham's team for a good couple of seasons, but since then he's fallen out of favour. Obviously, he was at the Mags a few years ago, but a few months ago. But before going to Newcastle, I had a subjective preference towards Marcus Alonso. To this, was good going forward down the wing, improved defensively as time went on, and I honestly believe had we anyway. And as much as I would have, as much as it was a toss up, Marcus Alonso for me just wins it. And again, thanks Ellis Short for not bothering to fund the permanent deal, which should have been in the bag. Don't know how it wasn't.
Right, okay. So you said Marcus Alonso. That's fair enough. On the chat, Chris Scott.
I've seen that. Chris, I can't. I'll happily take you a tour around my house.
Weird, right. So, Chris Scott, of course, because Jacob said he had a poster of Kieran Richardson on his wall. Well, Chris Scott says Jacob now has a poster of Arsenal on his wall.
I'll have to do a pano of my bedroom and show you that I don't have a poster of Arsenal.
Hang on a minute. Doesn't that scarf hanging off the back say AFC?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I was just trying to take the mick out of it.
No, I have to put it down.
Right, okay then. Right, so you say Alonso. For me, when I was looking at right backs, again, I had Patrick Van Aanholt was brilliant for us. I thought really good. Julio Arca was brilliant. Danny Rose. I've got Joe Bolton back in the day. Again, you one have seen him play. Joe Bolton was a cracking player. But for me, my left back, right? Oh, somebody on the chat said Denver Hume, apparently. But my left back definitely goes to Mickey Gray, because, well, he had a partnership which will come into its own when we get further forward there. So with 4 votes for Mickey Gray, he definitely is going to be our left back, Michael Gray, in the SAFC Fan TV Best 11. Right then, the 2 centre backs then.
Are we going to name them both together or one at a time?
Can just, well, yeah, we can name them both together if you want. Just
yeah.
Anyway,
Go with Sean first. Go with Sean first. Apparently, his is controversial. I think.
Sean, apparently yours is controversial.
Oh, so you said we disagree with you on them, so I'm interested to hear this.
I think he's well. I'm adamant. Are we doing 2 together or one at a time?
Both together.
I think we just said both together.
First of all, right, my first central defender, he obviously joined Sunderland in 2011. He signed a 4-year deal by Steve Bruce. He is Republic of Ireland international. He won the Premier League 5 times. Cup one,
I know who it is.
Twice, and he won the Champions League and also the FIFA World Cup. And he never ever lost a derby to Newcastle United. So my second defender is John O'Shea. And my second.
Hang on, Sean, because Michael decided to have a coughing fit or something over here. So it was. Who did you say for your first one?
John O'Shea.
John O'Shea. There you go. Right, go on. And your second one?
Second one, well, that was a bit tricky, this one, but again, I'm going off his past experience. He had a good career at Manchester United. He joined Sunderland in 2011 to see him. Spent 5 years on Wearside. Might have laughing there. He had a few injuries, but again, it was great. And the derbies against Newcastle, and I think he was a leader. And on his day, he was one of the best defenders around. My other defender is a former Champions League winner, 5 times Premier League winner, FA Cup winner twice, League Cup winner twice. Wes Brown is my other central defender.
Sean, have you spent the week on Wikipedia?
How wrong with that, Sean? Prepare to do your research.
Is it all in there? It's all in there. Good man. All right, coming through on the chat. John Mensah, Steve Bold, Sean Elliott, Dave Watson, Eunice Kabul there, Gary Bennett, Sean Elliott. Always said Sean Elliott there. Dave Watson, again, another shout for him. John Mensah, Kevin Ball, all coming through on there. Dino.
Well, I do agree with Sean on John O'Shea because he kept it up for years. I mean, I know he was always relegation scrap, but he was a leader. Yeah. He was really good in the air. I know he was on his last legs. I know he was slow, but his positioning always helped him out. He was always in the right positions. So I do agree with John O'Shea. He was a captain as well. I definitely agree with John O'Shea. I've got another. I don't know if I'm sure he was Jody Craddock a centre back.
Yeah. Jody Craddock and I'm
going to say Jody Craddock. I think he goes under the radar a bit because I think he was a bit injury prone back in the day. I'm sure he played until he was about 40, didn't he? He was playing for Wolves when he was 40-year-old or something like that. Yeah. I mean, Jody Craddock definitely up there. So for me, John O'Shea and Jody Craddock.
So John O'Shea and Jody Craddock. Coming through on the chat, we got Charlie Hurley's been thrown in there. Again, I've only gone off people I've seen play myself. So
we agree when I said
that's where we've gone. So we're not ignoring, Sunderland legends and people like that. We're just going on people we've seen. And even though people may think I'm really, really, really old, I didn't actually see Charlie Hurley play. I'm glad you find that funny, Sean. Thank you very much. Right then. So we got John O'Shea twice, and we got a Wes Brown and a Jody Craddock. Lauren? Central defenders.
Gone for Yunus Kabul. Some really good memories with him. When he darted down the wing against Newcastle, passed the ball to Fletcher. You'd never ever think Yunus Kabul would be darting down the wing like that. And when we relegated Newcastle and he was in tears.
Brilliant.
He's a leader, quality defender. Sad day when he left. Second one's John O'Shea. Same as what others have said.
Right, so that's another one for John O'Shea. And Yunus Kabul, you said. All right, they're good choices. Coming through on the chat, again, we got Dickie Ord, Andy Melville. Thane says, don't forget Danny Collins, top man.
Got DC.
Right then. So, Jacob, what do you think? Central defenders.
Mine has not been mentioned so far on the chat. I'm surprised, actually. He had 2 loan spells at the club, played a huge part in that promotion-winning season in 2007, and also the following season in 07-08 when Roy Keane brought him back. I've gone with Johnny Evans. Very, very good defender, very underrated. He was only young when we got him, but he played like he was 10 years older. Just a fantastic overall centre-back, brilliant header of the ball, very solid. Loved to get stuck into a tackle, man-mark strikers out the game. Just an overall natural defender, very comfortable on the ball as well. He ended up having Man United brought him back in the end because Man United saw a future in him, but it's a shame we couldn't have kept him longer. So Johnny Evans is my first one. And my second one, I've gone for a player that Steve Bruce brought in, John Mensah, Ghanaian international. If he didn't have the injury problems he had, I think he had a very, very bad knee problems in his time at Sunderland. He would have been a top draw centre-back. I remember the run that Ghana had to the World Cup quarter-final. They got knocked out by Uruguay, but he was absolutely brilliant that tournament. But just a fantastic defender. Superb man marking strikers out the game like Johnny Evans, and I think if them two had a great centre-back partnership, Evans and Mensah, it could have been something. Great player, John Mensah. Shame he had the injury problems he had, so he's going to be my second central defender.
Right, okay. Michael.
One of the options that Lauren said, I agree with her. Yunus Kabul, I think, deserves to be in there. I think he was pretty much. I don't think we appreciated just how good Yunus Kabul was until we actually sold him. And obviously, I don't blame him for going for the reasons that he went. If it was true for family reasons, that's fair enough. That's always about football. But I can't get Papi Dillabodge out of my head. But somehow we decided to go for him as a replacement. But anyway, Yunus Kabul, very good, solid centre half. When he was playing, like Lauren said, I never thought I'd see a centre half bomb down the wing against the Mags, put in a perfect cross, and Stephen Fletcher to score. I'll just pick him for that alone. And the other centre back arguably could get into both my best and worst 11, which is quite bizarre enough. I'm going to go with the version of him that actually gave her monkeys and tried, which is Lamine Kone. I'm actually going to go with the Allardyce version of him, because I think that as much as I think Kone really down tools after Allardyce left and didn't bother to try, I think that when he did try, he was one of the. I would go as far as to say he would have been one of the most underrated centre backs in the Premier League under Big Sam. He flattened Yaya Toure, who at that point was one of the best central midfielders in the Premier League. He left him stone cold on the floor. And
was that his debut?
Yeah.
Debut against Man City, and he just flattened him completely. Obviously, in the game against Everton, where we did relegate Newcastle, he scored twice. But I just think more times than not, those two together as a partnership, I've never seen Sunderland have such a commanding partnership. I know O'Shea and Brown on their day were pretty good, but I think Kabul and Kone, just what a partnership that was. And I was pretty confident we weren't going to concede as many goals with them two. One of them was a good organiser, and the other one was literally a man mountain. It's just a shame that he didn't bother after Allardyce left.
Right, okay then. Different ones coming through on the chat. There's a few shouts for Nyron Nosworthy coming through there as well. Jeff Clark, again, whether or not you'll remember Jeff Clark, but fairly good shout as well. For me, central defenders, I mean, I had Sean Elliott down there. I've got Yunus Kabul, Dave Watson. Dave Watson was in our cup-winning team as well as a cracker. I've got Kevin Ball, and I've got Gary Bellett as well. So
I know.
Kevin
For
Bowles
me-
midfielder, wasn't he?
Yeah.
the what?
Kevin Bowles
Yeah.
a midfielder, fully centre midfielder, wasn't a defender.
Oh well, I've let you down then, haven't I?
Shocker.
So, but
He
I just
started
thought,
his career though, didn't he? In
I,
defence.
well, I thought he was a defender, but what do I know, right? So anyway, it looks like from our votes down here, John O'Shea ended up with 3 votes and 2 votes for Kabul. So they're the 2 that we're going to have to stick in because you're all outnumbered. But some good shouts in there. Kone, definitely a good shout. But it's going to have to be Kabul and who else said John O'Shea.
Yeah.
Going to go in there. Right. We're getting pushed for time now. So midfield, I basically, Sean, you can give us the quick blurb because you've been on Wikipedia about yours, and then we'll quickly. I just want names from you for our 4 across the middle. Let's take the
Right winger, left winger, and then
Right.
the 2 second.
right. We'll do right and left wing. We'll do those together.
Right
go on.
winger is Sebastian Larsson, right winger. Left winger, Stefan Sessegnon. And my 2 second midfielders is Jan Mvia and Lee Cattermole.
So hang on, just say that again. You had Seb Larson.
Ted Larsson on the right,
Yes.
Stefan Sessegnon on the left, Lee Cattermole in the middle with Jan Mvia.
Left. Catamol in the middle.
And Jan Mvia.
There. Right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Right then. Michael, we'll go up top to you.
Right mid, and I'm pretty sure he played on the right mid. Stefan Sessegnon, by the way, what a midfielder. Never seen someone been able to change a game the way he did. Left mid, Kieran Richardson, because he's obviously played
Hang on. When I said go quickly, you got to give me that. Don't do shorthand, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've
So
already
I'm writing away here trying to... right, so sorry, Michael, go on. Right, give us your...
Right,
we're going
left
left
mid.
to right.
Right, okay, fine. Left mid, Kieran Richardson, good strike on him. Right mid, Stefan Sessegnon, reasons I've already said. And centre mid, Jan Mvia. And Cattermole nearly made this team, but I can't quite put him in ahead of Jordan Henderson. Baffles me how people still don't rate him, some of them anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Did anybody get that? Because I was writing that down. So
Right.
Richardson, Catamol, Mvia, and Sessegnon. Is that right?
No, he wanted Henderson.
Who? Henderson.
Henderson
Yeah.
instead of Cattermole.
Jordan Henderson instead of Cattermole.
Sorry, mate. Right, there you go. Right, I've got them down now. I'm all right. Right, Jacob.
Right mid, the player who we used to say was better than Pele, Stefan Sessegnon. On the left, the guy who used to get shipped off at 70 minutes, but still top draw, not his natural position, but can play there, Steve Malbronk. My 2 in the middle, one, Jan Mvia, played a crucial part in the Big Sam season, top draw footballer. Shame he didn't come back, he's still at the airport waiting. And the final man to partner him in the middle of the park might be a controversial decision, but brilliant player under Gus Poyet. I've gone for Ki Sung-young.
He was good. Yeah.
Good shout.
Right, Lauren.
Okay. So right wing, Sessegnon, Mvia, Jordan Henderson, and Steve Malbronk.
Henderson, Malbronk. Right, where we going? We're going there. Right, Dino.
I agree with the 2 wingers with Steve Malbronk and Sessegnon on the day. Quality. Sessegnon could just turn anyone inside out. In the middle, I'm going to go Jan Mvia, but I'm going to go with somebody who wasn't there that long, but I think he had more quality and more quality than Cattermole, but he had a bit, and he was more aggressive than Cattermole. That is Lorik Sarna. I still think Lorik Sarna was a hell of a player on his day. He was there. He wasn't afraid to get him with a tackle, and he was a leader as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right, fair news. I agree with you for Sessegnon on the right wing, and he's definitely going to get that. Left wing for me, right, definitely without a doubt, has got to be Alan Johnston when he paired up with with Mickey Gray. We had Mickey Gray left back, and we had Alan Johnston on the left
I
wing.
must admit, like I wanted to pick him as well. Like,
And I'll tell you what, together they were absolutely lethal. They were brilliant. They linked up so well together. And in Reedy's day, they absolutely they were just superb. So for me, definitely Alan Johnson on the left. I'll go with Mvia in the middle, and I would go Henderson is where I would put it. So on that score, we got Sessegnon on the right. On the left, looks like we're going to have Steed Malbronk. That's there's a few.
Fair enough.
On that. So in the middle, it's definitely going to be Mvia. Try saying that when you're drunk. And
Okay.
1, 2. It's going to be Henderson then.
Honourable
Because-
mention to Jan Kirchhoff as well.
Yeah.
Well, do you remember his debut for us?
Against Spurs.
No,
Was he in
Kirchhoff.
defence?
German
I was
tactic, Tony
terrified.
mates used to call him.
He was
He dictated the field.
absolutely dreadful. And I remember watching him and thinking, oh my goodness, what have we bought? And he turned out to be absolutely
draw.
brilliant.
Can I just say, are we putting Jordan Henderson in because of what he's done, or what he was as a player when we had him?
I'd say a mixture of.
Mixture of both.
When Henderson was at
He
us,
never had his full
he was
potential,
not the player he is today. I still think Lorik's. I
That's
think
why I didn't put him in.
Lee
That's why-
Catmull and Lorik Sauna is better than Jordan Henderson. Like when he was with us.
Well,
Right.
Well,
Just like
for
something-
for me, I would say, Dino, don't complicate matters. I'm trying to move on here. I'm running out of time, man.
Strikers to go.
Well, the thing is there was so many you could choose from, man, in the middle. And, we've got to agree on something. And Henderson just fits in there. And he has won the European Cup. And,
Not with
you
us.
know, he's a
Premier
Sunderland
League.
fan.
I know.
So that'll do for
Once
us,
in
won't it?
Premier League.
I mean, to be fair, we picked Jimmy Monty. I mean, you said you'll pick Jimmy Monty simply because he won us the FA Cup in '73.
Aye, but Henderson didn't win us a cup, did he?
No, he didn't. But if you're prepared to put Montgomery in
You could
because
say that you've seen
he won
Henderson
the cup in
play.
'73.
That's the thing,
Henderson wasn't that good for Henderson wasn't amazing for us. He was just a young kid. You got
He's a young
both
He
of them.
improved with better players around him at Liverpool.
Aye, but that's at Liverpool, not Sunderland. We're going off Sunderland.
Yeah.
I'd
He's
still
like,
say well, Sunderland.
at Liverpool, he's been
Well-
in the last 2 years, it's been amazing. But when he was at Sunderland, he was just a young lad coming through. That's why I didn't put him in my squad. Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
didn't-
Well, Davo Mac on the chat agrees with Dino. So there you go, Dino. You've got a
Thank
fan there. So yeah, there's loads what could have been in there. I mean, on the chat, there's loads coming through. Carlos Edwards, the saying, Don Hutchinson, Alex Ray,
Gavin McCann.
again Kirchhoff coming through there. Bawley. So there's
Bolo's
plenty in there. Right then, we've got 5 minutes left then. So our front two, our strikers. And again, it's not, you don't want to be predictable and say Phillips and Quinn and what have you. But if Phillips and Quinn turn out to be our best two, then they're going in our best 11. So let's go round you all. Jacob, top two.
I was too young to remember Phillips and Quinn, so I'm going to go with it's a controversial one here, particularly the way how he left in the end. But I believe if we offered him slightly more, particularly from Ellis Short, he would have stayed. I've gone with Darren Bent, fantastic in his first season, just a natural goal scorer. The second one can score with both feet, particularly on his left peg against the Mags. Jermaine Defoe, brilliant man.
Oh, hey man.
Right, I think what we'll do then, I think we'll move on to Dino, because Dino, it seems, has got exactly the same two.
No, it's not. It's
No,
not.
yeah, all right.
No. Like for me, Phillips goes in there every day of the week. There's no doubt about that. But when he said Defoe, I mean, I had Bent with Phillips, but Defoe, like, they were kind of similar. We got Defoe at the end of his career. When we got Bent, he was in the prime of his career. But the way he left was absolutely disgusting. And I think he doesn't like Sunderland anymore and all that stuff. So with you saying Defoe, I'm going to put Defoe ahead of Bent every day of the week.
So you're saying Phillips and Defoe. Is that who you're going for?
Yeah, yeah.
Right, okay. Lauren, the strikers, who are we going for?
Phillips and Quinn.
Quinn and Phillips.
Yeah.
No, Phillips and Quinn.
Can't argue with it. Michael, what do you think up front?
I would have put Bent in there, but I was only getting into football when he was here. Thanks, Ellis Shaw, for prioritising money. We were building a good team. Asamoah Gyan was actually pretty good for us, so I'm going to put him in next. I do remember him. And Jermaine has to be in there any day of the week. The fact that he had to make most of the goals himself, we barely gave him any chances and still scored double figures 4 full seasons he was here. No question.
So is that you going for?
Asamoah Gyan and Jermaine Defoe.
Right, okay. Sean, top 2.
Right, first striker, the quote, this is a quote from, I learned my training at Arsenal. I became a footballer at Man City, but Sunderland got under my skin. So my first striker is Niall Quinn.
Come on, down.
And the second striker is the former European Golden Boot winner and the only Englishman to win it as well. And he's probably the greatest striker in our history of our football club. Super Kevin Phillips.
Right, fair dues. For me, I've got loads jotted down here, which haven't been mentioned. I've got Eric Gates and Gabbiadini together. We're pretty lethal. Michael Bridges was absolutely superb as a young kid, came through and was excellent. Darren Bent was brilliant for us. I wasn't a fan when they signed him, I thought, but he absolutely banged them in for us.
You thought it was Marcus Bent we got?
Marcus Bent.
There was?
Marcus Bent, the one who played for Ipswich. You thought it was Marcus Bent, not Darren Bent.
Yeah, him as well. Niall Quinn, of course, absolutely superb, legend at the club. Jermaine Defoe is the best striker I've ever seen play for Sunderland. Whenever a chance came through for him, 9 times out of 10, he put it away, and you were just confident when it came through to Jermaine Defoe. It was just it was in, and he's the best striker I've seen play at Sunderland. And however, Kevin Phillips, without a doubt, cannot be left out of a best Sunderland 11. He's by far probably our best striker, we've had. But Jermaine Defoe, for me, so and he would get it for me. So on that score, it means that Kevin Phillips and Jermaine Defoe are going to be our top 2. Phillips, Defoe. And that gives us our best 11. So I'll read it out for you. So in goal, we got Jimmy Montgomery is our goalie. This is the SAFC Fan TV best 11. Across the back, we got Phil Bardsley, Eunice Cabal, John O'Shea, and Michael Gray. Across the middle, we have Steve Malbronk, Jordan Henderson, Mvia Sessignon, and up front, Phillips and Defoe is our best 11, the SFC Fan TV best 11. Don't know if you agree with it or you don't agree. If you're watching if you're watching it back, then stick your best 11 in the comments if you like, if you would do that. We are still on our way to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Well, that's what we're trying to do. We are so close to 4,000. So if you've not subscribed already, please do so. It's absolutely free. And if you have subscribed, then tell your friends, tell your granny, tell your mates, tell your family, tell them all to just hit the subscribe button, and we will love you forevermore. So that's just about it. We will be back on Sunday for a Sunday bunch, where what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at how the teams around us fared on Saturday and see if we're still up there and in with a shout. So that's what we're going to do on Sunday. So from myself, Wee Philly, from Jacob Kirkby, from Dino, from Michael Bowers, from Sean Middleton, and from our guest tonight, Lauren, we'll see you all on Sunday. Bye-bye. Woohoo!